Hello, everybody. Welcome. It is Tuesday night, the NXT reaction. Finally get to do one again because we taped the main show last week. We did like 20 tapings, so I didn't get a chance to go live. But here we are this week. We're going to do things a little bit differently for this reacts. And you'll see how it goes. Let me quickly start with the thing that I liked. And that was the closing segment with the Battle Royal. I should classify by saying that when Ava said that she was in high school when the first Evolution pay-per-view took place, I almost rolled off the couch. I'm like, whoa. 2018, I had to do the math. 2018... She was in high school. I'm like, back in 2018, I was working my first radio job at WTAM 1100 in Cleveland. I've already have done a season's worth of Cleveland Browns post-game shows, Cavs and Guardians, Indians, board opt a few NBA Finals games at that point. You know, I was teaching broadcasting at that time, and years upon years out of high school, class of 2010. Man, that's just made me feel old. That has nothing to do with anything, but I'm like, whoa. You ever... That reminds me when you're listening to the radio, and you hear the first time in your life when you hear this is a throwback, and it's like your favorite song from high school or middle school, and they're like, oh, this is a throwback joint. Like, I had that moment with Ava. I had that moment. I guess technically that should have been things I didn't like, but it was funny. It was funny. I'm like, whoa, I rolled off the couch. But no, this Battle Royal is pretty important. You know, pretty important. And I would like to see an NXT superstar win this Battle Royal. NXT has always bragged that they're the best women's division in all of professional wrestling. And from an entertainment standpoint, sure, that's true. That's very much true. But in terms of reflection upon sports entertainment, you know, things that we watch, that has to be proven in the ring as well. So, I like the women that's in it, obviously. You got, big names. This would be a good spot for Jada Parker to win this. This would be a really good spot for Jada Parker. She's come really close in a lot of areas. But because the women's division is so stacked, there's never really been an opportunity for her to have a championship spotlight. I mean, she's been in championship matches. But, a real spotlight feud. And maybe if she wins this, maybe she will have to go up there to take on a challenger. But that's something I would like to see. I wouldn't mind watching Jada Parker versus Rhea Ripley at Clash at the Castle in Paris. I wouldn't mind seeing that. Or any of the NXT stars. But if it's not them, perfect opportunity for Stephanie Vaquer, right? She's in an interesting position, because she is a superstar, but it's always the question of, do you want to burn through dream matches right off the bat, or do you put them on a path where, you do mid-card, and then we need to save, we got to save Stephanie and Rhea, or Stephanie and Io. We got to save those matches for WrestleMania season. But at that point, it's a tough call. Tough call. But I'm very much intrigued. Because I was out of the loop of NXT as a whole, it would be a little unfair for me to judge pros and cons, like the overall scope of things. But, and I say this because, the big story this week, And I have this down as things I don't like. But the big story this week, there's a lot of people complaining about the amount of wrestling that we're going to see this weekend. And I'm guilty of it too, because, we're talking about, well, Evolution's probably not going to sell as well. We don't know if Saturday night's main event's going to sell out. AEW All In is only going to, the capacity is only, 23,000 at a baseball stadium. But here's the deal. Here's what happens when you have counter-programming with wrestling. You know who wins out of that whole situation? We do. The wrestling fans. So, I am not in the business of saying, hey, support everything. I really am not. But the fact that we are in 2025 seeing the top two major companies, we're seeing, NW, I have my Exodus Pro shirt on today. The ability to have multiple wrestling shows on, that's a pretty cool thing. And it's up to the talents in the ring. The storylines are set. It's up to the talents to bring home the bacon. It's up to the talents to deliver. And when you have this much wrestling, it's a great time, and fans will enjoy it. It's up to the wrestlers to make sure that their matches stand out. So we'll see. Now, with this being this much wrestling, if you quiz me right now on which match is going on which show, I couldn't tell you, right? So many storylines. But, again, it is pretty cool that all this is happening. And I personally believe Evolution is going to be a good show. I personally believe Evolution is going to be a really good show. We talked last night at the Raw Reacts. Strong, I think one of the feuds of the year. Becky, Lyra, and Bayley. Io Sky, Rhea Ripley. They're going to they're going to bring the house down. That Fatal 4-Way Tag Team match is going to be great. This Battle Royal is going to be outstanding. I think Evolution, if you skip Evolution as a wrestling fan, I think you're making a big mistake. I think Evolution is going to be a phenomenal show. But, yeah, a little different, NXT, they're going to show out. There's some stories right now with NXT that I'm not really 100% interested in right now. And Great American Bash is probably going to have to receive separate viewing for me, probably Sunday afternoon. But hey, let's see what happens. NXT shines at pay-per-view. So there it is. A little different formula for the Reacts. I just want to bring it up, too, because we taped our show last week. We got a fun podcast coming up Thursday morning. We're going to have our top 10 men, top 10 women's wrestlers of all time. We're going to have wrestling theme songs, the top 10. We're going to do a lot of fun stuff, too. We got a throwback promo of the week that we're going to feature. It's going to tie into Goldberg and Charles Robinson, who's been in the game for a long time, still looks young, so I can't wait. And again, remember, W Energy, got to get the drink. Get the drink, W.GG. That's how you can get, that's how you get the drink. The drinks is phenomenal. Get the cup. What's great about W, no sugar, no artificial coloring, anything like that. You want to get a good load in before a workout or before a work day or anything like that. W Energy. That's how you get it. W.GG. And if you put in the promo code SHWP10, that's Side Hustle Wrestling Podcast, 10. SHWP10, 10% off on your order. So, a lot of good stuff. All right, back with you tomorrow night for the final AEW Dynamite reaction before All In.